So my problem started actually back in 1998, where I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. After it's just a general term, a generic term, because it wasn't rheumatic, it wasn't muscular. So I was told that this is something I'd have to live with the rest of my life. It was last year, actually, July of last year. My legs, my hips, my legs, the lower spine became unbearable. I couldn't move. I thought I was going to be in a wheelchair the rest of my life. Now, I had seen my doctor. There were images taken. I had seen a rheumatologist. I had seen, I did physical therapy, which did not help. I was just beside myself. I couldn't hardly walk. So I decided, my daughter had seen a chiropractor, so I had decided to take it in my own hands and say, I'm just going to go and research to see if I was willing to do anything at that point. I did a lot of research. It took me a couple weeks. I went through the web pages. I listened to testimonials, but I was looking for a chiropractor or a doctor that could actually look at me as an individual, not just another name in their file cabinet, that really would understand what I am going through. So when I came across Dr. Matt, he had a podcast that I was listening to on his webpage, and the podcast, he was talking about how he came to be in the profession that he's in. And he had mentioned when he was a lot younger, he had been in a doctor's office and he heard cries from one of the patients there. And he thought to himself, well, how can anyone be themselves if they're in that much pain? And what, is there something I could do in my life that would relieve that pain before it got to the point where they became angry or in tears? That struck me right there. That's when I picked up the phone and I dialed, and I ended up here, and it was the best decision I had made in my entire life. My problem was interfering with everyday life. Now, I had learned to live with my upper body aches and pains, but my lower, I could hardly walk. I'm a teacher. I needed to be able to move about the classroom. I was to the point where I'd have to get into my wheelie, my chair that has those wheels on it that was behind my desk, and my poor students are wheeling me around from person to person. It was just very hard on me, on the kids in my classroom. I was becoming an invalid. So I needed to find some kind of relief. My experience with with Dr. Matt's treatment approach was phenomenal. I could not believe that first day that I came to him in such pain and agony. I mean, it took me 5 minutes just to get out of my car and into this office. And when I when he saw me, and we discussed, he had my images of my spine and my hips and everything he needed. And he was right on with the diagnosis. He said, you have narrowing of the spine, you have some degeneration in your hips. This is the type of treatment I do. That first day, in 10 minutes, the relief, I still to this day cannot believe I actually walked out of that office without upper thigh pain. It was, I thought I was dreaming. It was wonderful. My life is, I have been coming here and seeing Dr. Matt for, let's see, I think it's going on 4 months. I am, for the first time, very happy when I wake up in the morning to start my day. He has started now. We're finished with the lower body. Just maintenance has to be done. He's started with my upper body. I was not able to move my neck. My arms felt so weak. I was afraid I was going to drop things. I heavy things I couldn't lift, and I am elated. I am so happy just to wake up now and begin my day. I feel like a new person. To try coming to a chiropractor, and I would recommend that they see no one other than Dr. Matt at this point.